Gross render challenges. I really wish I hadn't seen that.
How do we rise above these gross videos? You know, you have to think more abstractly.
I'm not looking forward to this one.
A huge thanks to Razer and NVIDIA Studio for sponsoring this video. And be sure to stick around if you guys want to know more about the world's fastest laptops built for creators.
Let's get gross together. Let's get gross together. Let's get gross together. Let's get gross together. What are we doing? So this week we are doing a render challenge, and you guys have probably seen some of our other render challenges before, but the goal in those videos was to make something satisfying. This time around, however, the goal is a little bit different.
It's gonna be yucky. It's gonna be real yucky. It's gonna be real gross and yucky.
I'm not looking forward to this one. This was an idea that was thrown out in the comments and it stuck with us. Gross render challenge. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think it would be very
gonna
helpful to me if we could define some sort of boundaries.
I understand why you need to make that statement. Right now, we've got an idea. Gross render challenge, but we gotta establish what that means. What is your definition of gross?
Okay, I mean, well, there of course are those pimple popping, like blackhead removal videos on the internet.
The grossest thing I've ever seen, I don't know what movie it's from, but it's like an old film, maybe you know what this is from, of an eyeball getting cut.
Gross in my mind is anything that like evokes like a visceral, cringy reaction of like, ugh. Because our brains literally evolved to not eat rotten food. Not eat poisonous plants that taste gross. Stuff like rotten stuff, slimy stuff.
Body fluids.
Pretty much anything bodily related is gonna be gross. Our bodies are gross things.
Yeah. One of the worst feelings in the world is watching a video where someone pulls a hair from like their throat. Like, that doesn't make you go,
Ew.
You ever see when people have like some sort of insect growing inside them and they tweeze it out, like some kind of worm or something like that?
boils come to mind, man. Just anything that is like skin that is just waiting to burst filled with liquid is immediately off the table.
I have a big lump on my left leg above my knee.
Okay. Oh, wow. He's in need of medical attention. That's a pimple?
No, it's a cyst.
It's a cyst.
Oh, it's... I didn't even look and I hate it. I didn't even look and I feel
really wish I hadn't seen that.
I've never eaten clam chowder again.
I want to see the cyst right now.
How's this not affecting
you? I'm clenching my teeth as hard as I possibly can. Fun fact about Sam. I got a cyst in my throat once. Hey, in the ER, I'm like this, wait 1 hour, and this guy comes in at 11 p.m. He's like, all right, what's wrong? The throat. And he's like, cool, open wide. And he takes his knife out and he's like, and I'm like, and then he's like, I start spitting. I'm like, into a dish just like that.
No, dude!
But think about this, like we're looking at these gross things. Simply recreating someone's balloon-sized cyst dumping pus. I mean, why would we create a CGI replication when there is an image of it? You know, you have to think more abstractly. This is why we're making renders here. We're not just taking like gross shots with our phones of us popping pimples in the mirror. How do we rise above these gross videos?
I got an idea I'm excited about. There's so many TikToks I watch, I need to confront them.
I'm not even kidding. I'm legitimately nauseous right now.
I did not expect that texture of goop to come out.
It was curdled. It was curdled pus.
I'm a little worried about Wren, to be honest. I don't know if he can get through this one.
Okay, I did not expect to actually legitimately get nauseous from that. I have a very weak stomach. Rarely have we had a corridor video that I instantly regretted.
Oh, if we can make Wren vomit, we have succeeded.
Okay, whoever gets the closest to making Wren throw up wins. That is the bar for success. Curdled pus on 3.
Curdled pus.
One, two, three. Curdled pus.
Today I got up, I stepped onto the grill and I clamped down on my foot.
There's not much in this world that I find more repulsive than feet. I don't know what it is about them. I just don't like them. I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. I'm kidding. I don't like the look. I love the taste. Bunions, hard skin on the bottom of feet, like janky toenails. They're just repulsive all the way around. And so what better way to cap off this entire render challenge than including one of my biggest phobias, nasty, filthy feet. And so today, Wren's gonna help me scan my foot. Because he's a good friend. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my foot and I'm gonna go drag it around in the dirt and the muck so it looks nice and disgusting. Oh my God. Oh! Then Wren will gently and lovingly capture a 3D scan of my foot. Looks pretty good. That's a tasty meatball. Come on now. That's good, dude. And now with that scan done, I'm gonna try to add some boils or some pimples or some varicose veins, all the juicy, repugnant little details.
I told Jordan, okay, I will scan your foot, but you gotta scan my head.
For the first satisfying render where I had like the scan of my face, that was using Bella's 3D. It's like the most simplistic head scan you could possibly have. But this time around, I'm using Polycam, which will actually scan my head properly and give me a much higher fidelity model. Jordan made a major mistake. Jordan made a mistake. He told me that he's afraid of this little thing called trypophobia, which is a fear of holes. It's a fear of Shia LaBeouf.
Make your dreams come true!
So I looked at some images of trypophobia on hands, like holes in hands. Ah! Oh God! Oh! I'm not trypophobic, but what the heck, man? I mean, dude, look at that. This sort of like trypophobia aesthetic reminds me a lot of David Brodeur. He has like all these really good looking renders from a few years back that basically have these holes and like these little things coming out of them. Jordan didn't realize this when he told me that he's got this fear of trypophobia. That's why I needed the head scan. I'm gonna add some holes to my face. So coming right out of the box, these Polycam scans are pretty high resolution. I need to like remesh it a little bit. So I'm gonna make the face very high resolution, but the rest of the body and head to be kind of like low resolution in terms of like number of polygons. And I've actually been doing this so far on this laptop here, which is pretty nuts, dude. This laptop is powerful. I'm a big fan. So like I'm able to actually use Octane Render on this thing. I mean, look at the skin shader I've got going. See how my nose and like cheek are transparent there? That's the subsurface scattering I got going on. Yeah, so this is the Razer Blade 17, which means it has a 17-inch screen. It's 4K, 144 hertz. This thing runs Octane Render easily because it's got a freaking GTX 3080 Ti inside of it. Inside of a laptop. This thing was just announced at CES this year. It's got 16 gigabytes of DDR6 memory in this thing. Like I said, the 3080 Ti. What's also really nice about this is that like nothing crashes. And I guess a lot of that really comes down to like the NVIDIA Studio drivers. Like they rigorously test all of their drivers to make sure that you could be running tons of different programs at the same time and it won't crash, which is really nice. There's this thing called like rapid core scaling. Some programs actually work better on like single threads or like a couple threads rather than like many threads. And so NVIDIA is actually able to identify which programs require less and only give it that much. And that saves a lot of battery energy if you're just out on the go. It's more efficient overall. And you find that like, it's actually even faster. I'm a big fan of this bigger screen here, but the Razer Blade 15 has all of these features. In fact, they've got a whole line of laptops with NVIDIA Studio working across all of them really well. Really cool stuff. So yeah, I guess it's time to get to work here. I'm gonna start poking some holes in my face. You got some clippers?
So I saw the moment when Wren saw that giant cyst burst and he nearly lost it. I saw his soul trying to escape his body and I thought, what better inspiration for how to make Wren throw up than what already almost made him throw up. So I'm thinking my render will probably involve some sort of boil or zit that gets popped and explodes with some kind of gelatinous goo that's just leaking out of a body because who doesn't love a good leak? So the next step is to grab my roommate Riley, who I use for all of my 3D scans. He's basically a walking asset library. So I'm just gonna grab him up, I'm gonna 3D scan an area of his neck and also his hand, so we can have super realistic textures for the render to make it all the more gross.
The foot scan turned out pretty good, actually. I added like a bunch of little boils all along the surface.
Ooh.
I mean, lots of little
That guy's
bulging, warty pimples. Just makes it worse, and then you just start layering in wounds. It's like a leper's foot, but I want to rig it so the toes wriggle, you know? I want the toes to move so that you are aware that this person's alive, and that makes it worse, I think. It's like living foot cheese. Sorry.
Oh, living foot cheese.
Sorry, I thought I could.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's coming together. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I've got like the machine element built for this thing. I just gotta get onto the simulations now. We are kind of running low on time at this point, so I gotta stop focusing on this foot. It's nasty enough. Like, this has made me physically sick a couple times today, like genuinely. I've had to stop and sit and breathe, but it's getting less extreme. That's an arc right there. I'm growing, I'm changing. I don't know if it's for the better now that I'm thinking about it, but feet are not as repulsive as they were at the beginning of this thing. I think this is good enough. I think for now, I'm gonna move on to the simulation. Yeah.
Okay, so I got the scan in there, I got the pimple all animated, I got the tweezers and the hand working, but then I hit a snag, and that was the bane of my existence and the thing I always try to avoid, liquid simulations. Simulations in general, in computer graphics, have gotten a lot better over the last few years. Now we have things like EmberGen, which is a real-time smoke simulator. It used to take hours and hours to simulate smoke. Now it takes seconds. But with liquid simulations, it's like you go like this, and then you hit simulate, and then once it's done, you're like, that looks like awful. And you have to do that probably 1,000 times, changing little settings here and there. And with a lot of things in CG, you can kind of get away with some jankiness, but with liquid, it's like, we all are intimately aware of what liquid looks like. So if there's jank, it's very evident, and if I want Wren to throw up, I have to get this right. There's no margin for error here. Ah man, this is stressful.
All right, so I've got a bit of an update. Oh man, dude, I even got like a little flab of skin. I hope I can actually incorporate that in the end. So this is like actually a really cool technique. I used this thing called Voronoi fracture to add holes to my face.
Wren, don't, please, dude. Literally, of all the things you could do.
Hey,
Wren,
man.
don't, dude, please, dude. That's so gross. I can't look at that, dude.
Good.
I hate it.
I don't know, I find this to be kind of pleasing, to be honest. Like, this is weird and creepy looking. I selected some of these polygons kind of like around my face here. I detached it so it's a whole separate 3D object, and I ran that through a Voronoi fracture system, which breaks it up. It's usually meant for like physics simulations, but I was able to take the edges between all those polygons and extrude them out and thicken them, and then volumize it and smooth it into what you're seeing here. So this is very creepy looking. Jordan, you're gonna love this, man. Wait, are you freaked out by like these little holes in the laptop here?
No, that does nothing to me. Don't do this.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it's been a really gross time, but it's been a good time working on this laptop here. It's super dope to be able to have like desktop power on my lap here. And if you wanna learn more about NVIDIA Studio or get your own Razer Blade 15 or 17 like this one, click that link in the description and you won't be sorry. I'm gonna add a little facial animation to this thing and render it out. I've only got tonight to do it, so I guess all we have left is to see what the other guys did. Here we are with our finished renders ready to be displayed to everyone. Hold on to your stomachs.
My stomach's currently right side up, and I'm hoping it stays that way, but I'm not so sure.
Jake's eating egg behind me, dude. I smell egg.
Oh man, egg makes me sick. So my whole approach with this render was specifically to try to gross Jordan out.
I feel like I broke something in me in this process, and I'm not sure I'll ever be back to normal. Wren, count us down.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Wow. Oh man, my head instantly itches.
Dude, seriously.
I don't know why. That's
Dude, the friggin' pus in it, dude. The little goopy pus in the gaps.
I'm not hungry anymore.
I had one honest. It's so gross. I can't look away, but it's making me very uncomfortable.
It's kind of giving me like a. I like barely have eaten this morning, so it's making me nauseous looking at the green stuff.
So the animation, I use this app called Moves by Maxon. It works with Cinema 4D, and basically I just set it down and I did what you're seeing there, and it spits out like this shape of a face that I was able to line up with the 3D model and then do basically a mesh cage style thing. Remember when I did like that basketball hoop net on that portal render?
I think this is an excellent gross render. It's awesome. It looks great. It's creative. Me, not grossed out. This is like 7 on the gross meter.
That's pretty nasty. Grossest CG I've ever seen, it's like an 8.
I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 is still very gross. 10 out of 10 is like either I'm vomiting or I'm fainting, you know?
I still had to actually make something and not die, so I couldn't push it past the 6 from my own point of view.
Like if it's too gross, you can't even physically make it because you die.
All right, Peter, let's see if you can make me lose my non-breakfast.
My aim is to have you do 2.
Do it.
Oh my god, yeah, this was like not fun to make. No, it was really fun to make, but also disturbing. Okay.
Okay, here we go. You're gonna feel a little pressure. It's gonna test out a bit.
Oh god, no! This is like the thing that made me sick.
A little more pressure.
Don't.
Oh god.
3, 2.
Oh yeah. Don't go No! No! Peter! This is unholy. What is it? Oh, Peter. What is that? It's a little guy. It's a little guy. That's it's a little cutie.
Put him back in. Oh my god. Dude, when it burst out, I actually did like friggin', I don't even know what you call it.
Did you?
Yeah, that's what happened. That's what you call it. Okay.
It's the whole opening more. You know what I mean? Like seeing into an open wound is I'm done.
For you, the hole was particularly challenging.
This would be really gross, except you just couldn't resist getting a little cute at the end. It just gets a little cute. It just gets a little cute.
I don't know if that's cute. That's.
Oh, come on, look at that. It's a little baby guy like.
I'm very uncomfortable. This is like an 8 out of 10. I'm as you see, I'm still like conscious, so it's an 8.
If Wren's was like, say, 7 on the gross meter, this is like a 6.9.
Oh.
Nice.
That's right, I'm ranking you.
Grossest CG I've ever seen in my entire life. I think this is like an 8.5. Maybe even a 9. Yes! I don't know of a grosser CG image.
Well, that was the grossest render you've ever seen until maybe Jordan.
I don't know if I can top that, but I'll try.
Ew. I was told to put this down on the table for, you know, max effect here.
Yeah, sort of a...
That has nothing to do with it.
That was tasty.
It's good.
Dandruff.
Hold him up.
Oh much worse than I could ever imagine. Oh my god. It's like fucking...
I don't think I can eat pasta again. I think this is it for me and pasta.
No more. Don't eat it. Don't eat. Oh. Wow.
This is beautiful.
Dude, look at that
thing.
I need a moment.
I need a moment.
I knew you were doing the frickin' foot thing. Obviously, I helped you with that. I didn't expect the frickin' pus channel.
I was doing the foot shavings and that was gross, but I thought, how much worse would it be if you had just a nice full boil ready to share with the hungry restaurant goers? So yeah, here we are.
This looks amazing. Like the attention to detail in the machinery and how the little claw like takes it and like moves it and then like that and then moves away.
What'd you do for the noodles? Is that a 3D model of noodles?
So in Houdini, I did 3 different types of simulations. I did the particles for the skin, I did the liquid for the actual pus, and I did a tetrahedral soft body sim. This is come on, dude. That should be illegal.
There you go. There you go. You get one more. One more for Daddy. There you go. Put that one. It's really very hard to put this in your mouth. There you go.
We lost
What? No, you guys.
Super gross, but like it's a very nice package, you know. It's like a little Happy Meal, you know. It's great. It loops. It's really well composed. It's like gross and still abstract. This is an 8 out of 10 on the gross scale, but it's a 10 out of 10 on the render scale.
My heart is full. Thank you, my friend.
Grossest render I've ever seen, definitely right up there with Peter's, 8.5, 9 even. But the thing that puts it over the top for me is it tells a story.
I think it's the render that got me to elicit the most vocal reaction. I'm revising Peter's score from a 6.9 to a 7, so it's a tie with Wren. And this, 7.01.
Wow! A nail biter. Woo!
Well, that was a lot of fun to work on. I wasn't able to actually do everything that I wanted to do, so there's a slight bit of disappointment on my end. But I kind of regret doing this video because of what I saw you guys make. You made me sick.
I mean, we literally made a goal between us to make you sick. Yeah.
I feel less bad about trying to make you feel sick then.
Well, see, that's what I was thinking. When you found out my phobia and took advantage of it, I suddenly felt very vindicated for our private conversation.
I want to do another gross render challenge at some point here soon. I need suggestions down in the comments on some gross ideas.
What do you want to split? What do you want to boil? What do you want to tear open? What do you want to fester?
Yeah, enough. This is done. We're done.